And alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy post-Sabbath penumbra, Summa scholars. Welcome to the Daily Summa. Today's Sunday, March 2nd, 8th week of Ordinary Time. You know, my mother brought to the attention... Hello, Joe.
Hello.
Hello, okay. My mother brought to the attention that yesterday, or the day before, whatever, I said it was February, like 29th or something like that, but really, it was March 1st.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no February 29th this year.
So anyway, today is March 2nd. It's the 8th week of Ordinary Time. And this 8th week of Ordinary Time is going to last a whopping 2 days.
Yep.
Because Wednesday is Ash Wednesday. The beginning of Lent.
Indeed.
It's exciting. It's exciting stuff, dude.
I can't believe we're already here. It feels like just not very long ago it was Lent.
Yeah.
But also
Soon we'll be dead.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Really, you're going to be laying on your deathbed going, well, wait a second. We just got the pool table. we just got the pool table in Chesterton's.
Yeah.
What's going
that
on
one's
here?
going to be a bummer. Because I'll think about how good the pool table is.
Yeah.
And then we're talking deathbed, so I probably won't be in pool playing shape, and I won't be able to go do that.
Well, you're hardly in pool playing shape now.
Wow,
starting off.
See, this is what I was talking about. You're demonstrating live exactly what I was talking about.
Hey, Baruch Hashem, blessed. Have a blessed Sunday penumbra, friend.
Wow.
This is actually the first alcohol I've had. I poured it just for this. Not that I'm doing things just for the video. I always do have a post-Sabbath penumbra drink and celebrate Sabbath, but I made sure I had it ready and poured for the festivities here tonight. Speaking of festivities, Tuesday is Fat Tuesday, otherwise known as Shrove Tuesday, otherwise known as Mardi Gras. Bump,
Yeah, baby.
Bump. So I've got something special planned for Mardi Gras, dude.
Oh, yeah?
There's something in the house. You probably have already seen it. I think you almost certainly have seen it, having been in this house. It's in one of the restrooms, the only restroom I think you would have used. But I have a special something coming up for Mardi Gras. I'm probably going to play Olympia Dijon Brass Band, which every Mardi Gras, I celebrate the Mardi Gras as it should be, as it would have been done back in the day, and in preparation for Lent. See, It's Fat Tuesday because you have stuff left over in your larder, stuff in your house, stuff in your what do they call it? The larder is called not a cupboard, but a
cellar?
Whatever well, kind of, yeah. Your place where you put all your dry food stuffs and everything.
Oh, a pantry.
Pantry. Thank you, Joe. That would have bothered me the whole show. So even though this is a stream, but we're gonna call it a show.
It's a show. Why not?
It's a show, dude. It's a show. I do shows. That's what I do. I've always done shows.
Reasoning, yeah.
So the idea was you eat all your stuff before Lent, so it doesn't go to waste. I mean, it's not going to waste. Right. And you eat it all up, and you drink, and have a good little feast, Fat Tuesday, before you go into your Lenten fast. Yeah, now, of course, today it's a fast feast. But now, of course, today, being that the culture is crumbled and the efficient and final cause has been forgotten in all things. Now they just feast for no reason. I mean, they're just like, hey, let's drink and eat for some reason. But no, here on the Beaver Galleon, we do things old school and according to reason. According to reason and according to the heart, both together. So anyway, usually I celebrate. Now, I'm usually alone. I have no wife, have no children, and spent a lot of time in hermitage and alone. So I celebrate Mardi Gras by myself. But do you think that means that there's not going to be any celebration and dancing and whatnot's going on? No.
Certainly not.
certainly not in the realm of Mr. CK. So every Fat Tuesday, I get the Olympia Dijon brass band, and I play a lot of good Mardi Gras music. I have my beverages. I have sometimes I'll play some Jimmy Buffett, some of his more New Orleans style stuff. You might as well go Buffett. You know, I mean, while you're doing the weirdness of Mardi Gras, you might as well go full weirdness. And also, now that we're on a beaver galleon, now we're sailing. Since we're sailing on this galleon, you got to have some Buffett. In fact, that's something we got to have AI do. We've got to have AI put Jimmy Buffett on the beaver galleons. Can we get that? I want to see Jimmy Buffett on the beaver galleon, or Jimmy Buffett.
It's possible.
Jimmy possible. We've got to do. We'll do it at some point when we're hanging out, maybe at Chesterton's or something. We'll get Jimmy Buffett on the beaver galleon in some capacity.
Yeah. The problem is the AIs hate to use specific people, and every time you do that, most of the popular ones are just like, no, it won't do it. So you have to find the right one to do it for you, you know?
Is that for legal stuff?
Yeah, pretty much.
Legal things? Well,
yeah.
I agree with it, but I don't.
You know. I don't. I never do. I never will.
We just want Jimmy Buffett on the beaver galleon.
How can that be bad? How can that be bad?
How can that be bad? Exactly. That's the spirit. So anyway, I'm always spending Shrove Tuesday. I'm always spending Fat Tuesday dancing, rejoicing, eating lots of good food. And then usually when you eat that much, you're ready for Wednesday, Ash Wednesday. You're ready to fast. And that lasts for about a day, 2 days.
And you're like yeah, I have a nice bottle of Lafroig in my Chesterton's locker waiting for Fat
Tuesday. Are you serious? You got Lafroig?
Yeah.
I'm out of town, and you got Lafroig.
So just real quick, explain to me why any of that is my problem.
No, that's true. Yeah, as soon as I said it, I knew you had me, and there was no way for me to come back on it. But I will.
In fact, I was against the whole leaving thing. From the very beginning. Yeah, it's all you.
It's all my fault.
Yep.
But there are a lot of good things that have come out of it. And one of them was today. Let me tell you what happened today. I had a beautiful snowman. Today has been a beautiful Sabbath. It would be just impossible for me to convey and explain the gifts showering down from on high, the kindness from the efficient cause of all things. But I'll try to explain a little bit. First of all, I got to go to Divine Liturgy with the nuns. You know, I always love that. And by the way, Mother Natalia is the one who turned me on to Lafroig. I'd never had it before. I'd never had it before. And she was like, this was like 3 years ago when I first started hanging out with the nuns. And they invited me over for dinner. And she was like, would you like bourbon? Would you like scotch? Would you like wine? And I go, I'll try what scotch. She goes, have you ever had Lafroig? I said, nope, never heard of it. She goes, oh, you have to. And she goes, and I have a perfect glass for you. So she comes back with a shot of Lafroig poured into a tumbler, and the inside of the tumbler was shaped like Mount Doom from Lord of the Rings.
That's pretty cool.
You got to love that girl. You know what I mean? That woman, that mother, that nun. So being over there today, there was a family visiting, and they had numerous kids. And they had like a babe in arms and a like 7-year-old, and then like another one. And then there was one that was like a girl who was like 3, maybe. So as we're walking out of Divine Liturgy, I'm there beside Maddie. And Maddie and I are chatting, and this family's right in front of us. And somebody goes, this family doesn't know me. They don't know who I am. Oh, I have another thing to tell you. Put a pin in that story. There was a priest there who I had hung out with like a year ago on my tailgate out in the shrine with Mother Natalia, and hanging out with this priest, Father Mike. And he was there today. I didn't know he was going to be there. And then was like, hey, Father Mike, what's up? Oh, hey, Craig. And then I said, he said that this Daily Summa came up in his YouTube algorithm.
Ah, look at that.
And he was like, I think I know that guy. And he clicked on it and watched. That's fun
Very
to
cool.
hear.
That is fun.
Yeah. So he was like, yeah, where are you? And that's a cool background and everything. Yeah, it was really cool to talk to this guy, and he had seen one of our videos.
Nice.
He could be watching right now or tomorrow on Fat Tuesday.
Awesome.
I told him I was going to do something for Fat Tuesday. Yeah. So, he's also a priest in New Orleans. He's a Nolan's priest. So anyway, we're walking out of this place, Maddie and I, and this family's right in front of us, and they don't know who I am. And this somebody goes, what are you doing today? Maybe it was Maddie who said it to me. What are you doing today? And this little 3-year-old girl who doesn't know me, and I've never talked to her, she turns around, and in just the most beautiful, simple 3-year-old query that had all the resonance of life importance. She goes, are you going to build a snowman? Maddie goes, what are you going to do today? And this little girl just out of nowhere turns and says, are you going to build a snowman? And I said, I go, you know what? In honor of the childlike spirit that the Lord calls us to, I am going to build a snowman today.
Very good.
And I took it as a Holy Spirit divine call coming from this child. I get back to the house, and again, everything is beautiful. I'm having a wonderful time with the Lord, studying, peaceful. Snow was coming down, then the snow stopped. I took a nap, like a 2-hour deep nap, deep healing nap. Woke up from it, cup of coffee, chilling out, little dog beside me. And then I'm like, I don't feel like going out into the freezing 20-degree weather. Is that Dr. Rebard up for some reason?
There is, but it's because I'm switching up. I'm gonna display the snowman that you sent me.
Oh, nice. But
there we are.
Anyway,
here's the snowman.
So it's a little anticlimactic.
It's a little.
Yeah. So I'm like, but I have to. This is the will of God. I have to go out and build a snowman today. Plus, let's say I do get married and I have kids, they're going to want to build a snowman and I'm not going to want to. So I need to show the Lord that I can do that kind of thing. You know what I mean? I do that occasionally. The key word being occasionally.
Right.
But apparently, you tell me, Joe, with all of your kids, you can't occasionally. You have to be like parental all the time or something.
Yeah, at least like I'd say it's like a good 80-20. Like 80% of the time, you have to be parenting pretty good. Okay. And then the other 20, you can kind of be like, yeah, the wife can do that part,
or like, just tell the kid
single
no.
Parent. Oh yeah. Oh, that's part of parenting though, is to no. Like
no. Go upstairs.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Today we watched Transformers instead of hanging out with the children. We'll go play upstairs and watch Transformers, and it was great.
Yeah, it's like go upstairs. That's why we put a cardboard box up there for you to play with.
Yep.
So I'm like, I'm gonna have to go build this snowman. So me and Daisy, I put her on the chain, and she's super excited. I don't know if you can put that video up. It's probably too much, but I got a video.
Very compressed because we're iPhone to Android, so it won't be good.
I should have sent it to you in email.
That would do it.
Or no? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we made I called him an Italian, a French snowman. Because first of all, I realized this: snowmen are hard.
Yes.
Like on TV, like on the Hallmark movie, it looks great. But in reality, snowman hard.
Yeah, it takes quite a bit of time
and effort to make a snowman. So I'm shoveling, I'm trying to get it together, and I'm like, this isn't sticking together. This isn't working like it works in the movies,
Yeah, you have to have the right kind of snow too. You can't just take any snow and make a snowman. Yeah,
I realized that too. I was like, oh, it's kind of snow dependent.
Yeah,
And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to watch YouTube videos on how to build a snowman. I almost felt a
Mm.
challenge after this.
Mm.
I'm like, no, I need to make like a real snowman, like from the TV movies, you know?
Mm.
So that's in the future. We'll see if I actually do it. I'll throw up a video if I do. But anyway, I went out and built this little snowman. And then there was a piece of ice that kind of looked like a beret. And I just stuck it on the top of his head and called him a little fat French snowman. And
Yeah, let's see what that beret looks like. Oh, yeah, I get what you're going for. I get what you're going for.
That's my first real snowman.
It's like,
I mean,
it's like a French Hobbit snowman, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did make a snowman once at my mother's house, which if she's watching this, which she often does, she'll know. But he was a little bitty guy, about this big. And anyway, are we doing something tonight? What are we here for?
I think there's a Summa thing. I'm tempted to walk away completely and go pour myself a glass of liquor, but
You can do that for that purpose, for that lofty purpose.
yeah, I
You
think
know,
I
it'd be
will do
funny.
that. I think I'll be back.
You know, it'd be fun. Okay, I'm just going to start reading. I'm just going to read straight until you get back.
All right, see you in a half hour.
Whatever.
All right.
Top of page 71. Go get your liquor, dude, and come back. Top of page 71, Article 3, Question 8. The question is whether God is everywhere by essence, presence, and power. Okay, we're just going to start at the top of the page, right in the middle of a sentence. Actually, we'll start with the I answer that on the previous page. Give a little context. I'll be nice to you guys because you probably don't have Summas at home. And he's also off getting liquor, so he can't put the slides up for you. See what a slacker Joe is? A little bit of a slacker. I answer that. God is said to be in a thing in two ways. In one way, after the manner of an efficient cause, and thus he is in all things created by him. In another way, he is in things as the object of operation is in the operator. And this is proper to the operations of the soul, according as the thing known is in the one who knows, and the thing desired in the one desiring. So the efficient cause, Michelangelo working on the statue, that is how God is in all of creation as its efficient cause, as its creator. And according to a telos, which is Thomas's fifth way, which has to do with purpose. And that's kind of beautiful because he's saying that God is in all things according as the thing known is in the one who knows, and then the thing desired is in the one desiring. So I think he gives this example later. If you know and desire someone,
I'm back.
Oh, Joe, I was just about to talk about good stuff, and you're back.
I'm back.
Okay, I'm just about to talk about lover and beloved stuff.
I knew you couldn't read straight.
No, but, well, you're back. I anticipated when you were going to be back. I'm just that good. I'm just that good. I know how long it takes to walk into your house and pour a drink. I've done it many times. Well, I usually don't have to walk anywhere. But no, sometimes I do. Anyway, let's get back to the deal. Lover and beloved. If someone's in love, that person they love is in their mind and in their heart as a thing desired. And Thomas
I'm going to interrupt you once again.
I sure hope you're not this way with your beloved, if you know what I'm saying.
Mike, I don't have context for this because I wasn't here for the last 2 minutes, but Mike had a evening class question mark was what he said. And I don't know what this means.
No, this is not an evening class. I know I say that this is like a nighttime class. Nighttime class means a table talk. When we've had dinner, I invite people over and then I give a teaching with wine and food on the table, and it's a separate specific topic teaching, not Thomas teaching. This just happens to be at night. Again, philosophy is about making distinctions. Just because a class is at night doesn't mean it's a nighttime class.
Yeah, you have 12 different words for that.
That's very rabbinical, though, to say something like that. And that's also how the scriptures work. Whenever something says something in scripture, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily just that type of thing. You have to understand it in the big context. Yes, this is a class happening at night, but it's not a nighttime class. All right, here we go. Hey, it's all, read it back, watch it back. I don't have time to make this clear to everybody. I'm trying to get to my post-Sabbath penumbra. Okay, the lover and the beloved. Just as the beloved is in the mind of the lover and the heart of the lover is that which is desired, Thomas is saying that's also the way in which we are in God. We are in him as in his heart and in his mind as the thing desired. He created us with the lover's desiring love. In this second way, God is especially in the rational creature, which knows and loves him actually or habitually. God is especially and preeminently maybe preeminent's not the right word. God is especially and more deeply in the heart of the one who is loving him in return. And you can get Kabbalistic about that and what that's actually happening. You're actually entering into a relationship that was there for all eternity. But we don't have time for that. It's not a nighttime class. We'll go into that in a nighttime tabletop class. And because the rational creature possesses this prerogative by grace, as will be shown later in question 2. Okay, Thomas, flexing. He's like, I'm going to show you all this in question 12. Just wait. He is said to be thus in the saints by grace. Okay. But how he is in other things created by him may be considered from human affairs. A king, for example, is said to be in the whole kingdom by his power, although he is not everywhere present. Again, a thing is said to be by its presence in other things which are subject to its inspection. As things in a house are said to be present to anyone who nevertheless may not be in substance in every part of the house. Everything in this house is present to me, but it may not in substance be right here in me or with me. Lastly, a thing is said to be by way of substance or essence in that place in which its substance may be. Now, there were some, the Manichees, who said that spiritual and incorporeal things were subject to the divine power, but that visible and corporeal things were subject to the power of a contrary principle. It's because they believed, and St. Augustine was a Manichean before he became Christian. They believe that there's a good God and a bad God, a good presence and an evil presence, both working on everything. Therefore, against these, it is necessary to say that God is in all things by his power. That the Manichees would say that God is in some things, but the evil power is in other things. There's a split. And of course, as Thomas showed previously, that's not rational. And of course, any atheist or skeptic who's just dropping in and watching this right now would laugh because they haven't followed the whole argument. But Thomas has based everything upon visible reality. That's the power of Thomistic and Catholic teaching, that everything is based on, well, just like natural science also, everything is based on what is actually observable and then inducing and drawing conclusions from that. And so Thomas has drawn conclusions from everything present, coming from Aristotle. The nature of God, whatever this God is, his nature has to be that he is holding all of this up and that he is present in it through his power. And there cannot be two separate gods, a good one and a bad one, because you would still have to account for some first cause for both of those. And whatever that first cause of both of those would be that which is commonly referred to as the first efficient cause, or God. Okay, can't be Manichaean, can't be two split dark powers and a light power. But others, though they believed that all things were subject to the divine power, still did not allow that divine providence extended to these inferior bodies. And in the person of these it is said, he walketh about the poles of the heavens, and he doth not consider our things. Against these it is necessary to say that God is in all by his presence. Again, that sounds pantheistic. Those who would say that are deistic, God creates the thing, but then now it's just out of his purview and it's floating out there. He created it, but it's rolling on along. And Thomas has shown in his 5 ways that that's impossible, because whatever is rolling on along, he could have created it like the cue ball as a first mover, but there still has to be something that accounts for how that thing, whatever it is still held up in being. And that would be an efficient cause, which is what God must be. He must be an efficient cause. So he can't be distant from the thing he created, like the deist would say, the clock winder who just let it go, because he has to be holding it up existentially in being at all points. So God is present with us as the efficient cause and as the lover desiring its beloved, and holding us together in being as a lover and a beloved. Further, others said that although all things are subject to God's providence, still all things are not immediately created by God, but that he immediately crafted the first creatures, and these created the others. Against these, it is necessary to say that he is in all things by his essence. Therefore, God is in all things by his power, inasmuch as all things are subject to his power. He is by his presence in all things, as all things are bare and open to his eyes. And he is in all things by his essence, inasmuch as he is present to all as the cause of their being, especially efficient cause. So fear not, everyone. God is very close to you. The only way that you can be distant from him is by successive choices to not accept goodness, to doubt goodness, and that whatever you have is good, and that the end, the telos, will be good. Because remember what Thomas said about goodness. Goodness and being are actually one thing. It's a logical distinction that we make in our minds of talking about being under the aspect of goodness, which is under the aspect of that which is desired. But all being is good, and whatever is evil is an absence of being. So the only way we can be separated from God is to more and more believe that the good you're seeing is not good. You have to believe that the good you're seeing is actually not good. You have to doubt that there's a final good, as the famous Hebrew saying is from our brother Yaakov, Gamza Latova, all is for the good. That's the great rabbinic cry. First cry, Adonai Echad, God is one. Second great cry, Gamza Latova, all is for the good. Whatever evil that is allowed in the world is allowed to create a greater good. And the satanic impulse is to doubt that, to call that which is good or being evil. That's why Jesus said, woe to those who call good evil and evil good. That's the fundamental choice. This Dungeons and Dragons game is all set out to create a way to make that fundamental choice. Gamza Latova, all is for the good, or no, things are evil and for evil, and I doubt the goodness of being. Reply to objection 1. God is said to be in all things by essence, not indeed by the essence of the things themselves, as if he were of their essence, but by his own essence, because his substance is present to all things as the cause of their being. Again, that's going back to he is the efficient cause. So just as Michelangelo is present in the creation of the statue, or this table is present, constantly holding up this book, so God, the efficient cause, is constantly present, holding everything up in being. Reply to objection 2. A thing can be said to be present to another when it, in its sight, though the thing may be distant in substance, as was shown in this article, and therefore two modes of presence are necessary, viz. By essence and by presence. He has to be present by essence, which is his essence is being itself, so we're participating in the being, and by his presence. What was the objection to, if we can remember that? What was Larry's objection? I mean, Ralph's. Further, to be present in anything means not to be absent from it. Now, this is the meaning of God. Being in things by his essence, that he is not absent from anything. Therefore, the presence of God in all things by essence and presence means the same thing. Therefore, it is superfluous to say that God is present in things by his essence, presence, and power. What was that again? Thomas said, a thing can be said to be present to another when in its sight, though the thing may be distant in substance, as was shown in this article, and therefore the two modes of presence are necessary, viz. by essence. The thing, as shown in this article, can be distant in substance. Are you getting that one, Joe? Are you still with me? Though the thing may be distant in substance. No. A thing can be said to be present to another when in its sight, though the thing may be distant. Oh, that's the thing he was talking about, the king, or the presence, something to be present to me in this house, even though it might not be right in my presence. That in that sense, we're in God's presence. Now, that's a very interesting thing to contemplate, because there's degrees of presence. Like, we always say that God is present to us, but we say that he's present to us in a particular way in the Eucharist, right?
Right.
He would also be present. We know that Jesus has appeared to saints through history, like Sister Faustina and many others, or to St. Paul for our Protestant friends who don't believe perhaps that Jesus appeared to some of these saints, whatever. But in what way is he present to St. Paul on the road to, on the Damascus road? I think Damascus. Anyway, in what way is he present to St. Paul that he isn't present all the time? Because he's always present.
Real quick, Mr. Craig.
Yes, sir.
What page are you?
I believe I'm on page 71.
I think you skipped a page. I think that you skipped page 69.
Are you sure?
Yes. Pretty sure.
That's where I had my marker. Maybe I had my marker there because I studied ahead.
Yeah, we started question 8 yesterday. That's why I was so confused. I'm scrolling through the slides. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Oh, no.
Well, you know what? Here's what I say we do.
Yeah.
Let's just do this page, and then we'll do tomorrow. We'll go back and do 69.
You know what? I wonder if we should. That seems like a good first thing to do, but I almost feel like doing the weird thing on Mardi Gras, but that's probably not the best.
I mean, we could. I don't mind.
So if we did this page today, and then the next page tomorrow, which would be the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the end of it, and then go back and do the one missed on Mardi Gras.
Why not? Why not?
Why not?
Okay, sorry in advance for how the slides.
No.
I will fix those right now.
I'm on 71, and I was doing reply to objection 2. Yeah.
Great. I will get there in a moment.
You know what would be funny is if Article 4, whether to be everywhere belongs to God alone. Yeah. I don't think I studied up ahead on that page.
You said you're on reply to objection 2?
Actually, I did study ahead of it also. And this is where we have, finally, objection 6.
Oh.
We have an objection 6. You know, we haven't used all the names yet. I don't think we've ever had. No, once we had Billy Bob.
We had Billy Bob one time, yep.
Billy Bob one time. All right, let's continue on. The bottom of 71. Are you with me? Reply to objection 3.
Let's go. And now I am.
Sorry, Joe. Sorry, everybody. I was studying ahead, and I left my bookmarker in the ahead place. Okay. Reply to objection 3. Knowledge and will require that the thing known should be in the one who knows, and the thing willed in the one who wills. Hence, by knowledge and will, their things are more truly in God than God in things. Before God creates anything, he has it in his mind. As it says in Scripture, I knit you together in your mother's womb. Before you were in your mother's womb, I knew you. God had you in his heart and in his mind before you were put together in your mother's womb. But power is the principle of acting on another. Hence, by power, the agent is related and applied to an external thing. Thus, by power, an agent may be said to be present to another. I'm present on the guitar I'm working on. I'm playing. In some way, I'm present to that guitar. If I play the guitar and Mike Elias plays the guitar and Adam plays the guitar, same guitar, it's going to have a different vibe, a different feel, a different sound, even if you're playing the same song, because I'm present in it. In that sense, in that way, God is present to everything. Reply to objection 4. No other perfection except grace added to substance renders God present in anything as the object known and loved. Therefore, by grace, thereby only grace constitutes a special mode of God's existence in things. There is, however, another special mode of God's existence in man by union, which will be treated of in its own place. In part 3. That's a call to part 3. That's years from now, Joe. Joe, are you with me still?
Sorry, I was muted, but yes, that's quite a while away.
Yes, that's part 3. Not question 3, not part. This is part 3. And he's talking about God is present in a special way in union. It's talking about the thing that I've been talking about, which is the whole object and point of the Summa, to meditate on the presence of God in your life, that you might achieve union with God before death. And that is what he's talking about. There is, however, another special mode of God's existence in man by union, which will be treated of in its own place. Part 3. Cannot wait, my friends, to get there, both in the Summa and in reality. Dude, that's the name of the game. Union with God or bust. As what is it Mike Elias said? Stained glass window or bust.
Yeah, right.
Just looking for the stained glass window. Or the way I used to say it back in Sideshow Tramps Day, ST period. Looking for the ST period or bust. Union with God and then get out of this escape room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Article 4, whether to be everywhere belongs to God alone. Let's just read these objections and get the heck out of here. Objection 1 from Larry. It seems that to be everywhere does not belong to God alone. Oh, Larry. For the universal, according to the philosopher, is everywhere and always. Primary matter also, since it is in all bodies, is everywhere, but neither of these is God. As appears from what is said above in question 3, Thomas brings his own words up in his face. Therefore, to be everywhere does not belong to God alone. Obviously, Larry's putting it into matter again, and Thomas is going to reiterate. We're talking about two different realms here. Anyway, objection 2, that's Ralph. Further, number is in things numbered. Thanks, Ralph. Number is in things numbered. But the whole universe is constituted in number, as appears from the Book of Wisdom, chapter 11. Therefore, there is some number, which is in the whole universe, and is thus everywhere. All right. Ralph's getting a little tricksy. Breaking it down to number. Objection 3, Shimon. Yep. Further, the universe is a kind of whole perfect body, but the whole universe is everywhere because there is no place outside it. Okay, well, we can argue that, but therefore, to be everywhere does not belong to God alone. See, these guys are very carnal, these beavers. They think only in material. That's what Thomas is trying to do, everybody. He's giving us a meditation on the presence of God in our lives, to move you out of carnal body goof thinking. You know, the Hebrew word for body is goof. To not be goofy, but to be spiritually minded, not carnally minded. Objection 4, Reuven. Further, if any body were infinite, no place would exist outside of it, and so it would be everywhere. That's what we've already talked about. Therefore, to be everywhere does not appear to belong to God alone. Well, the if is the key word here, Reuben. If a body were infinite, but the bodies aren't infinite. He's already told you that. You weren't paying attention. He was watching Billy Bob Fish. Further, objection 5. Further, the soul, as Augustine says, is whole in the whole body, and the whole in every one of its parts. Therefore, if there was only one animal in the world, its soul would be everywhere, and thus to be everywhere does not belong to God alone. That's one of the weirdest objections I've ever heard in my life, Reuben.
That one's just like, but what if everything was different?
You know what? This Reuben's been smoking reefer. I didn't know that. I didn't know we had reefer on this galleon. Come on, Reuben. Let's read it again just for fun. Further, I'm going to read it like Reuben Stone. Further, the soul, man, as Augustine says in De Trinitas, is whole in the whole body, man, and whole in every one of its parts. Like, okay, look. Therefore, like, if there was only one animal in the world, its soul would be everywhere, man. And thus to be everywhere does not belong to God. I love that. I'm going to put a little star by that one. That is definitely my favorite objection so far. I might even memorize that one and just spring it on like a late night Chesterton's hang down in the basement in the Dumb Oxes Club. Objection 6 from Billy Bob. He's not fishing. He stopped fishing and he's hanging out with the boys. Probably been smoking reefer with Reuben. Let's hear what we got. Further, as Augustine says, the soul feels where it sees and lives where it feels and is where it lives. But the soul sees, as it were, everywhere. For in a succession of glances, it comprehends the entire space of the heavens in its sight. Therefore, the soul is everywhere. These two dudes
These two guys are off.
some major reefer.
They're off the reservation,
up on the poop deck. They've been up on the poop deck, fishing and smoking weed, dude. Oh gosh, Billy Bob. All right, so let's have Beaver Aquinas come and try to talk him down. On the contrary, said contra, you hippies. Ambrose says, who dares to call the Holy Spirit a creature? Who in all things and everywhere and always is, which assuredly belongs to the divine alone. I answer that to be everywhere primarily and absolutely is proper to God. Now to be everywhere primarily is said of that which in its whole self is everywhere. For if a thing were everywhere according to its parts in different places, it would not be primarily everywhere, for as much as what belongs to anything according to part does not belong to it primarily. Thus, if a man has white teeth, whiteness belongs primarily not to the man, but to his teeth. Okay. Oh, Thomas. I love this, dude. This Daily Summa. By the way, that's we'll do this short page tomorrow, which will be Monday, and then we'll go back and do that missed page, which is Article 2, really. And I have some underlined stuff here, so we'll have some nice stuff to talk about. The missed page on Mardi Gras. All right, folks, does that sound good? Sound like we did what we're supposed to do?
Sounds like we did it, man.
What time it is. Oh, man, it took an hour still? Wow.
No, we're at 41 minutes, dude. We started.
Oh, because we did 15. That's right. We did 7:15. Joe, do you have anything else to say about today, tomorrow? The show?
I have to retitle everything.
Oh no! What are we going to do about that?
I'm just going to retitle it and do a new thumbnail before I go to bed tonight, and I will do that.
But will that be confusing to people?
I don't know. Not my problem.
That's true. True. I mean, come on, we are on a beaver galleon, and clearly we just found out that 2 of our people have some stowaway stash.
Yeah, it's Ruben's fault, really.
Well, Billy Bob too.
I mean, Ruben brings Billy Bob into it. You know, it's not.
It's true. Billy Bob would just rather be fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Ruben. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know if I can talk too much smack about these guys because I did do the wrong page today.
I was wanting to double, triple, quadruple check before I threw it out there. I was like, wait, did I mess up? Let me make sure it was not me.
I've always worried that I would do that because in the morning when I'm looking at my stuff, I'll turn the page and I'll have that card, that bookmark in my hand. And sometimes I'll put it in there to go get coffee or the dog's barking or whatever. And I'm like, someday I'm going to leave this here in the wrong place and get confused. And that someday was today.
Huzzah, we arrived.
Yeah. All right, dude. This was a good one, man. I had fun. I guess I'll see you bright and early in the morning.
7:15, I suppose.
All right, guys, this is Straw. Thank you for joining the Daily Summa. Go pray, go meditate, and enjoy your penumbra of Sabbath.